The main challenge in the space that we are in is that I think is talent. Talent is one thing in the sense that remember advertising is a new thing in Botswana.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of depth or in terms of being able to attract the right people, it's a challenge. Of course, we do have people who are very good, but there are areas that are still lagging behind.
So you became the exclusive graphic designer for Nandos?
Advertising agency.
Advertising agency
for Nandos.
Yes.
You will remember some of our work. We had like a billboard campaign that went around.
Just remind me some of those slogans. Some of those.
One of them, we had a billboard by that road that passes along Gaborone Sane Road. That was saying the only chicks you won't feel guilty paying for. Which was
That's a good one.
You always have to think of taking it a notch up, you know, beyond what you think is perfect. So that's what we always do. We come up with all these solutions, and when we think or when the team thinks they have achieved what they wanted to achieve, we always want to take it a notch up. Just, you know, switch it up a bit. So that's the difference. Yeah.
This is Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. We enthuse, we energize, we inspire, and we empower entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs of all stripes in BW and beyond.
Hello and welcome once again, dear viewer, to another episode of Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. I always look forward to this opportunity to share with you life-changing business information. I always want to enthuse, energize, and empower you in whatever way we can in the field of business. And I have a guest who will do exactly that. And he is about to introduce himself. We're going to talk about graphic design and the world of design and so on and so forth. So it's going to be very, very exciting indeed. But before we get into it, please do me a favor. Just strike that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And of course, shameless plug, I'm selling a book. My book is Nuggets of Grit. You'll see it while the show is going on. Somebody will place the book on the table here. And it's only $3.99. If you're interested, you call us at 397-1368, 397-1368. Let me welcome you to Tebogo Sekgee to the Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom studio. You're so welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. It's my pleasure being here.
Yes. Yeah. Would you care to tell the viewers who you are whilst our videographer brings my book there? It's in that bag. And tell them who you are and what you're about.
Thank you, Mogobe. Once again, let me thank you for giving us the platform. I'm Tebogo Sekgee, the managing director of a company called Design Surgery, located in Gaborone. And what we do is we do branding. Branding in this context, I'm talking about advertising, signage, logos, you name it.
Yes.
It's a whole lot of bouquet of elements that constitute branding. Yeah.
Okay, that's wonderful. Tell us about your training, academic side, how it all started.
Yeah, or that. I believe in terms of training, you are talking from where I started. I studied primary school. I studied in Mompoloki, Bonawamam Primary School. By the dam side, I don't know if you know Mompoloki. That's where it's situated. From there, I went to Setbacks Senior Secondary School. In fact, before that, I went to Sidumedi Junior School. Then progressed to Setbacks Senior Secondary School, where I got my senior certificate. And then I progressed. Back then there were I went to Tirolo Seshaba, and then from there I went to South Africa, Joburg, where I studied my BA honors in graphic design. It was a 5-year course that I completed at Design Center. It's a college in Greenside in Joburg. And then from there, I got the opportunity to work for a TV company in South Africa called Mindset Land. I don't know if you might be
I think some of the viewers will be.
It's channel 182 in DSTV.
Yes.
Where we're doing like educational broadcast and health content. And what I liked about it is that it was the kind of an initiative that was geared towards changing people's lives. So I was very proud to have been part of that, which is why from there I used that. I started having that softness into human life and finding ways of somehow in everything that I do try and change people's lives in one way or the other. Unfortunately, at that point, I didn't have the power. My power was very limited in the sense that I was still learning the ropes. From that company, I progressed on. I worked for McCann Erickson. It was an advertising agency.
The Ericssons I know are the ones for cell phones. Are they the same company?
No. It's an advertising agency.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I was an art director there. It was called Optima McCann Erickson. It's no longer there. And then from there, I worked for a company called Native Impressions. And then from after that, I was like, I know enough. Now I've worked, it's enough.
You've worked for other people, it's enough.
I've worked for other people, is enough. Let alone, I've always been an entrepreneur.
When was this when you decided to break out on your own?
2009. That's when I decided, you know what, it's enough. I have to try something. That's when me and my partner, we decided to create design surgery. And one of the other reasons why we decided to create design surgery was that we saw a gap in the market. Back then, there were a lot of internationally affiliated advertising agencies. And that said, it meant all the advertising agencies of that time, they were operating with foreign models, as in they were using foreign templates to in Botswana. So we are like, you know what, we need to have a company that can address the needs of Botswana, a company that can address the needs now, not from the eyes of foreign people, but from the eyes of Botswana, because we believe the solutions are always driven by the challenges.
Yes.
So we believe our challenges as Botswana are different from the challenges of people in South Africa, whether it's America or wherever, which is why we thought we had to come up with them.
Yeah, let me take you back a little bit to that original spark, that where you developed interest in design or graphic design. How did that come about? What had intrigued you to want to pursue that career?
Yeah, I'll be very honest. Being from a school like Harisi Chele, I wasn't really exposed a lot to things like graphics. The only things we knew that we saw around us at that time was fine art. I did fine art at school, but I didn't like it that much. Of course, I was doing it, but during the time when I was looking for my college time, that's when we met a lot of like different institutions talking about different things. That's when I was like, you know what, this is the thing for me. I'm not about fine art, but I'm an entrepreneur at the same time. So I believe this thing can sort of, support my dreams of being an entrepreneur at a later stage.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
What is graphics and what is design, and what is graphics design? Can you explain it in simple ways?
Okay. Graphics, I would say, is commercial art. Commercial art in the sense that let me say, fine art is about expression, right? Because with fine art, you express how you feel, and it's about you. But graphics is commercial in the sense that it's about the business and how you want to sell the business. So that's how you express the objectives of the business, not your personal objectives. Yeah.
Okay, and then design?
I would say it's graphic design, so it's the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does it take to be a successful designer? Is it more of a science or it's more of an art?
It's art, science, psychology combined.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because remember, I wouldn't want us to talk more about graphic design, because what we do is beyond that. Graphic design is just a smaller element of that. When I say branding, it encompasses graphic design, it encompasses marketing, it encompasses digital, it encompasses PR, it encompasses a whole lot of things. So graphics is just a small
Aspect of it, yeah.
aspect of that.
So the company itself, since it started in 2009, what has been its main mandate?
Our main mandate is basically to change people's lives with branding. That's our main mandate. We constantly look at the work that we've done, whether it's company X asking us to create, whether it's an advertising campaign or whatever for them, we constantly introspect and ask ourselves, okay, of course we might have gotten paid by company X, but in terms of the society that we are building as design surgery, what kind of a society are we building? Because we look at every opportunity that clients are giving us to promote their brands, to change people's lives. We use those opportunities to make sure that we impact on people's lives.
Would you say Batswana ba tlhaloganya tota gore what is this field? We've been around now for close to 15 years. In those 15 years, Batswana, do they really appreciate the need for the service?
I would say yes and no, in the sense that there's different, I would say, different tiers of what do you call our market. There is corporate and there is layman on the street, but of course, even the layman on the street, you have to communicate to that person to come and buy products. So by the fact that you are able to talk to them and then they come and buy products, it means they understand. So I would say, yeah, that section, it's answered. But of course, there are also situations where people don't see the need to go to a professional. That's a whole new story altogether, because you don't go to the professional, you try and do it yourself, it doesn't go the way it's supposed to go, then you start blaming other factors but not yourself. Yeah, so
that's fascinating. It's very, very fascinating. Now, what would you say are the biggest challenges that you've encountered in your business?
The main challenge in the space that we are in is that I think is talent. Talent is one thing, in the sense that remember, advertising is a new thing in Botswana. So in terms of depth or in terms of being able to attract the right people, it's a challenge. Of course, we do have people who are very good, but there are areas that are still lagging behind. Like, I'll tell you something. Here in Botswana, there is no school for copywriting. The digital people are doing it at a higher level outside the country. So there are some, and then of course, graphics, there are some schools in Botswana. Television, I don't know if they still, I know they used to be, is it, what's the name of the school?
A television school?
A television school.
Oh, I'm not aware of it.
There used to be one, I forgot the name. I don't know if it's still there. But like I'm saying, at a higher level, because it's important also to do something, but not just do it, but do it at a higher level.
Yeah. So you believe in excellence?
I believe in excellence.
Okay.
That's why even in terms of how we do our day-to-day work, we believe we are different because we do things in a certain way. In terms of our branding, we are very big on insights, unlike other companies. We believe in coming up with solutions which are driven by insights. We listen to the market for us to be able to come up with solutions for them.
Yeah.
We listen to everyone, even to yourself. If you want us to do something for you, we'll come to you and listen to you first.
Okay.
And
any significant setbacks that you've encountered that are worth sharing, that you've experienced in your career?
Yeah, I would say COVID, obviously. But
how did it affect you?
it affected us in the sense that during COVID there was no business, and then after COVID, everything suddenly changed. The way business is done and everything just suddenly changed.
Give me an illustration so I can understand.
I'll give you an example. Before COVID, we used to do annual reports, right? Annual reports are like designing an annual report. You make an average of, I'm giving you an example, whether it's 200,000 to print it. Let alone designing it, and then after designing it, copywriting. After copywriting, you go and print, maybe you print 1,000 copies of one annual report. And then maybe you can make, like, say, I'm giving you an example, 200,000. But COVID taught people that things can be done digitally. You designed an annual report and everything, and then they share it digitally. So that means that 200 for production is out of the cards. Yeah. So, yeah, it's those small annual things that I would say they might look small, but they had a very big impact in our business.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, which is to say that you because a lot of people have said, look, COVID has been a setback, but it also had pluses.
Definitely.
It wasn't just a minus.
Yeah.
What was the plus for you from COVID?
I would say the plus for me was that the landscape changed, and because there was no money for everyone, people now started giving everyone opportunities, because now it was not an issue of I have the money, I can do this thing. It's an issue of I want solutions. It's not about how much money I have. So I would say from there we started seeing companies looking for excellence as opposed to who they know and the luxury of the bottom line.
Yeah, I understand. And any other challenges, and how did you overcome them apart from COVID?
I would say other challenges would be capital. Capital is like any other business. Capital is an issue. Today you have business, tomorrow you don't have business. Tomorrow you have business that needs a lot of money. That time you don't have that money, but business still has to continue. So those are some of the challenges that we encounter as we go. But now it's about how you go about those challenges that makes you different from other people.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what would you say then sets you apart in that sense from other companies?
What sets us apart is that we are true to ourselves. We are true to ourselves in terms of, from the people that we work with to the clients that we work with, we are open. We are open with our clients. If we don't have money, we reach out to our clients. If we don't have whatever, we communicate. And we believe that makes it easy because human beings have conscience. And all you need to do is to reach to that or to reach out to them at that level. Then they will understand you.
I'm with you. I follow you. The time for you to blow your own horn, say. They say you shouldn't toot your own horn. Here at Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom, we want people to toot their own horn, because how else will people know about you? Yeah. So what are the times or the successes you've encountered that you want to share?
Thank you for that. I've waited for that moment. I would say some of my proudest moments are the moments when we brought, when we localized Nandos. That was a big thing for us because we're a small company and we're dealing with an international brand. And at that point, what also excited us was that Nandos at that point was done from South Africa. We brought it to Botswana and we started making Nandos speak the Setswana language and using Setswana jokes, using Setswana puns and everything. That is Botswana. So that was very exciting for us as a brand at that point. And then another point was when we started.
So you became the exclusive graphic designer for Nandos?
Advertising agency for Nandos.
Yes.
You will remember some of our work. We had like a billboard campaign that went around.
Just remind me some of those slogans. Some of those.
One of them, we had a billboard by that road that passes along Gaborone Sane Road. That was saying the only chicks you won't feel guilty paying for. Which was
that's a good one.
Yeah, people still refer to it even now.
Yeah.
Because it really hit home. It was relevant to our market. You remember during the 2011 strike, we had a line that said, meaning, put Nandos on the negotiation table and then we start talking.
And so you also use Molomo to eat it.
Yeah. So those are some of the proudest moments. And then
on that point, Nandos has come to be known as a very humorous company. They've developed that aspect. People associate the brand with humor. Was that partly because of your efforts?
The brand, from a strategy point of view, that's how it's positioned. But like I'm saying, that's that direction. And brands, just like people, they're different. Some people are loud, some are quiet, some are reserved and whatever. So Nandos is that kind of a brand. But there are also other corporate brands that we deal with, like we deal with FNB Botswana, is one of our clients, and we are very proud to be working with them. We also do some work with Botswana. We are very proud to have done work with them. Companies like DTCB Botswana, we're very proud to have done work with them. Leah, very proud because there as well, we see people growing from being junior entrepreneurs to like big multinational companies. So it's something that we are very proud to see or witness as a company.
It is very clear from what you're telling me that you attract brands and you're attracting big brands. What is it about the way you position yourself as an advertising and marketing company that makes you attractive to these brands?
I would say it's more of how we approach our problems. Remember, we are design surgery. And as design surgery, we have our own way of looking at problems. Like you are saying, design surgery, right? Think of, you get to the hospital, you get diagnosed, the doctor listens to what you are coming with, and then they make recommendation to your problems after they have engaged with you. So just like
then they put you under anesthesia, and they put a knife to you.
Exactly. so just like even with us, we are big on insights. We try by all means to understand you, and then after understanding you, our understanding of you propels us to come up with the solutions that will be relevant for your problems.
Now, this is the part I want to hear a bit more. Without necessarily mentioning names, can you share with us a before and after situation? You took this brand that was struggling this way, and these are the inputs and the surgery that you applied, and these are the outcomes. Some brands may not be comfortable with their names being mentioned, but if you're comfortable mentioning one or two names, it's still all right. If you think that they won't mind.
Okay, I think I'll give you an example of a brand that we developed from scratch, and more than anything, it was motivated by what we saw around. As Botswana, we live with Botswana, we see everything what's happening. The HRDC Tertiary Education Fair, we came up with that brand, and that was done after thorough research. Remember, in the past, for someone to look for a university, someone will come all the way from Maung. They'll go through all these universities, and imagine how much money they are using. Imagine how much time they are using to go around. We're like, you know what? Let's come up with a platform where all these universities can be under one roof, and then that person from Maung can only spend once. They come here, they do whatever they do under one roof, and that's it. So you can imagine if it meant we're saving 10 pula for each person, how many 10 pulas have we saved for all those? I'm talking about a fair that attracted more than 20,000 students, potential students. So for us, we are very proud to have been part of that.
Did you create an app? How did you go about it?
It was an expo where universities come and exhibit their services. If you are interested in nursing, you go to a nursing school, they tell you how they do. You go to design school, you go to medical school, whatever, all different, like you put Limkonkwin, University of Botswana, Butu, whatever, all under one roof.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is it ongoing, or how does it work?
Yeah, it's ongoing, but now it has evolved in the sense that, of course, now we are not part of it. Yeah, it's done by HRDC now from
they've taken over from where
they've taken over.
You set the system in place.
Yeah. So now I can see they now go to the areas, as in Francistown and those other areas, which is fine. It was bound to evolve with time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you say that there are misconceptions in your field of your profession, and if so, what are those misconceptions, and how can we debunk them?
I think misconceptions, I would say,
or misunderstandings about
misunderstandings about what we do. I'll just cite one example to say, in most cases, when companies are struggling, they will cut the marketing budget, right? It will be the first thing to be cut. But to us, is the they are supposed to be increasing the budget in that space so that they grow their market. So I think that's another thing that sometimes clients miss, because if you increase the budget, it means now you are going to pump up the
So
brand.
in other words, when a company goes down, it's counterintuitive. It should increase the marketing budget as opposed to cut it.
Definitely.
But it's still happening even with big companies.
Yeah, it does happen with some of the big companies, but not all of them. Some are alive to that idea.
Yeah.
To say, when things are not happening, we have to make sure that we market, we sell.
Okay.
Basically, some are okay. No, we have to cut down on the marketing, meaning we cut selling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still on that point, are there certain media that are more effective than others? Because me, for instance, I'm a bit sort of, I don't want to say old school, maybe medium school, where I tend to think that social media has an impact. But there are some in my team who say, no. You need to go to every piece of media, including radio and television and whatnot. So is there a misconception around that? Is there anything you can clarify on that?
Okay. I wouldn't say there's any media that is not important. I think all media are important. The most important thing now lies with your strategy, how you want to take out your campaigns. If it's an advertising campaign, it depends on what you want to drive and who you want to reach. If you want to reach out to a global market, it wouldn't make sense to place adverts in a newspaper. And if you want to reach out to Bonku Kukohai, it doesn't make sense to now place your content on social media. And if you want to talk to someone who is in an office somewhere, it doesn't make sense to be placing your content in a space that are not that they cannot access. So I think more than anything is an issue of access. Yeah.
Okay. Let's play a game, me and you.
Yeah.
I've just launched this book. I want to get it to sell like fat cakes.
Yes, sir.
What would be the key considerations and what would be the approach? I want it to be a bestseller. Yeah. Chance to shine, sir.
That's a tough one.
That's a chance for you to shine.
That's a tough one.
How would you go about it?
That's a tough one, but I'll attempt. But firstly, the first thing that I'll do is to understand the book.
In other words, read it.
Read it and understand what it's all about.
It's my memoirs. It's about my life as a business person.
Yes.
It's intended to motivate and energize and inspire entrepreneurs out there, the young, the old, and to tell them that it can be done.
Yeah.
And to share a story of what I call servant leadership. And that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
And I share my story, how the Moraka and growing up Kokasi impacted me to be where I am.
Yeah. No. Now you are putting me on the spotlight. I wouldn't say I have the solution right now from the top of my head.
Yeah.
But the first thing that, like I'm saying, I will try and understand, and then after trying to understand, I'll try and define what it is and what it means, and then from there I'll come up with prescription to say, okay, because I know what it is, this is how I think it can be taken to the people.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think if I ask further questions, you'll send me a bill. So let's move on. The Botswana market. It's a unique market. There are those who complain about the size of the population, and yet there are those who are making money despite that size of the population. What are the unique aspects about the market as you enter it from the point of view of a marketing company and advertising company? Describe the market and tell us about its dynamics. Is it a responsive market? If so, what does one need to be aware of to interact with it profitably?
I would say different people will have different solutions, but my solution would be that, or let me say how I approached it was that growth was determined by demand. We started really two. When we started, I started. Really true, hell, it was me and my partner. And then we were doing everything. We would design during the day and do quotations at night, send them in the morning. And that's how we did it. And then with time, some clients kept on coming, and then we increased. We ran now 3 with some other gentlemen. And then the gentleman was also effective. Then our business kept on growing, kept on bringing more people. And then as we went, it kept on growing, and then we started building departments within the business. And then from those departments, now we started, creating even bigger proposals or even more substantive proposals that, clients could listen to us more than we were when it wasn't really true. So that's how we grew the business.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how would you describe it now? How big is it now?
The company.
Or the business?
The business has really grown in the sense that now we are 25 employees. And we have all the different departments of the agency. We are like a fully-fledged agency with all the departments, and we service higher profile clients, like I mentioned earlier on. And we match pound for pound with any other agency out there. And in fact, we are even better because back then, I would say around 2015 to 2019, we used to have advertising agency awards. They were called Sekgee. And in all those agents, 5, I think it was 5 of them, were always the biggest winners in those advertising agency awards, beating all. And
that covered just Botswana, or?
It covered, it was local advertising agency awards, but they were judged by the guys from South Africa who were also judging the Lorry Awards. So in terms of the standard, I would say they were at par with what's happening in Southern Africa. And we are always the biggest winners in those advertising agencies.
So you won what, 5 years in a row?
5 years in a row. We're winning everything basically.
Okay.
So to a point where now, it was like the awards were made for us.
What happened to them though? Why have they stopped them?
To be honest, I think they stopped. Well, it might be an assumption because of finances and all those things, because they were financed by the advertising agencies. So, and then Mogobe, when it came into play and all that, but we still want them back.
But maybe you should revive them, eh?
We still want them back. We should. But it needs concerted effort because we cannot own them. It has to be a neutral platform.
The buzzword now these days is mindset change, change. Ever since the president came up with this thing, and it's everywhere. What's your understanding of this mindset change, and has it been effective? And what are your observations from your industry?
Mindset change, I think it came at the right time, and I fully support mindset change. I believe the president has made a very big pronouncement. Of course, it's not going to happen overnight. It's a process. Already we are seeing some signs of mindset change. By the way, I also do farming. I also do vegetable farming and livestock. And with the vegetable ban, import ban, it has created a lot of opportunities for Botswana, and we are happy. Nowadays we see people that are very proud to be going to the farms. People are carrying vegetables everywhere, and it's exciting times. We are very happy, and we believe it's a step in the right direction.
But specifically in your industry, your main industry, how what has been the impact, if any?
I think it has been, in the sense that there's a time I was with a friend of mine from South Africa. We were just talking about business and clients and whatever. And he was asking me, man, you are saying you have this client. I'm like, yeah, this is our client. He's like, you know what? In our country, for a black man to have a client like this, you can dream. I was like, you know what? I have to be proud to be in Botswana. I have to be proud to be a Botswana. You know, it means if it's happening in Botswana, it is something special about us. Not only me, but also the person or the people who saw it fit that I can do that business. Yeah.
Yes, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
And some don't quite appreciate this mindset thing. Can you not illustrate from your industry's point of view, what is the target? What is the intent? When we say that we've achieved that mindset change, we will have done X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, no, thanks for that question. I believe mindset change in our space, like I was saying, us as design surgery, we are 100% Botswana company. 100% as in we have not even any, we are not interested in using foreign templates. We actually want to build our own template that can be taken outside to other countries.
Wow, I applaud that.
To be used by other companies. We are inspired by companies like Lerumo, Choppies, Sefalana, and them, who have created their companies here in Botswana. Now they are exporting their services to other countries. So that's the overall. I believe that's the mindset change that we are talking about. Even with us as design surgery, we are proud to be here in Botswana. And just as much as we are here, we believe we have to think globally and act locally, which is exactly what we are doing. We are very much aware of what is happening out there, and we are very much at par with anything international, but we believe we have to start here. You start here and then you grow outside, not start there and come here. Because, you know, there's also some disadvantages with that thing of bringing everything that you find from outside, because you also import even cultures and things that in the long run you might not want. Right now we are crying about drugs and this and that. And some of those things we don't make them here.
Yeah.
They are imported from somewhere else. So while you are trying to be thinking, well, okay, importing is the best thing, you must also think about what is not right about it.
Yeah. Let's talk about your heroes or your sheroes. Who do you look up to? Who do you want to emulate? And you know, who has inspired you, especially in your industry?
I would say in our industry, Mr. Kangwanyana. Lead consulting.
Lead.
Yeah.
My good friend.
Is one man. When I was still starting, I used to do a lot of work for them. It was big business because we were still small. You know, we did a lot of his communication, a lot of his branding, and we also people got to see that we can do professional things by seeing the things that we did for him. And then as well, some of my, I would say, in our space, who else?
Even internationally.
Internationally, I'm inspired by, you know, I would say all problem solvers, because I believe the world we live in is full of problems, and we constantly have to solve, be it a scientific problem, be it a branding problem, be it a medical problem, and all that. So I believe those are the people.
What about the big names like Sachi and Sachi? How have they influenced you? Are they not your heroes?
They are indeed. Sachi and Sachi, Ogilvy, and all.
You can tell the people about those companies since you know more than I do. Sachi and Sachi is known for what? Ogilvy is known for what? And how did they influence you?
I would say they influenced me. Of course, like I'm saying, I was thinking globally but acting locally, in the sense that they have entered this advertising space and they had their own ideologies of what advertising is and what it means for them. That also inspired me to interpret advertising or branding in my own space, which is Botswana. How do I see branding in Botswana, and how do I solve problems that are around me? So which is why I'm saying they inspired me, because they were solving their own problems in their own areas and ultimately took that manual to the world. Yeah, which is exactly what
how is Sachi and Sachi different from the other one, Ogilvy?
I would say they are different in the sense that they had different ideologies, but ultimately they were both branding people. Because like I'm saying, it's also the same, like design surgery. I have a different approach to branding. Sachi and Sachi has a different approach to branding.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. But ultimately we do the same kind of business.
We live in the age of social media. How do you position yourself in the social media space, and how do you think our viewers, the entrepreneurs out there, what should they be thinking in terms of marketing themselves and branding themselves in this time of social media?
Yeah, no, I think social media is a very good space, but what I've seen out there is that people are not using it for the right things. I would just say to the entrepreneurs, make it work for you.
What do you mean they're not using it for the right things?
Like I'm saying, they must make it work for them. It must be for a purpose. It mustn't be just, you are posting anything, and sometimes things that can work against you in the long run. So I will say to them, use it, but use it to benefit you in the business.
Yeah, I won't let you off that one very easily. You have to maybe go deeper and explain to us a bit more how would you want them to position themselves.
I would want them to use social media to make sure that they drive their businesses. And I will also not want them to use it for wrong reasons. Wrong reasons, people are insulting each other and doing other things that are not appropriate on social media, or maybe using their emotions at that time. And remember, maybe 2 years from now, those emotions won't be there, or the following day you won't be as emotional as you are today. And maybe next thing you are looking for a job and people are checking your social media, they find that, and it works against you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does your company help entrepreneurs from a social media standpoint? Is there any work that you do there, or any kind of services you offer there?
Yeah, we do digital campaigns, which include social media. I wouldn't say we do social media specific. We do across board digital campaigns, which also include podcasts like you are doing, which also include social media or other digital platforms that you can think of. So
do you then take over the person's pages and you post, or how does it work?
yeah, we do social media management and monitoring, and not only social media, we do media across board. Even whether it's radio, we do TV, we do newspapers, we do billboards, we do all kinds of media placement, including digital.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe here's another chance to mention one or two campaigns that you've done which have been impactful. I want to touch on the social media side as well, because this is the age we're in. How did you take company X and assist it across the board, like you say, in terms of that media campaign?
No, we've done a lot in that space, but the current campaign that I'll talk about is the Swipe and Win. It was done, we are doing the finale at Kanye this past weekend. Swipe and Win campaign, where, you know, customers were given the opportunity to swipe the F&B cards and stand a chance to win money when they swipe those cards. So it was a long campaign. I think it was 4 months campaign, where we went around Botswana activating that campaign. Of course, activating it physically, digitally, and other platforms, like I was saying.
What were the key ingredients that made it a success?
What made it a success, just as much as there were other platforms, is the fact that we are on the ground. We are on the ground activating and, you know, making people win, and people seeing that people are winning, and also go out there and swipe their cards so that they can also stand a chance to win. So that's what made it very, very successful.
And F&B in the end got to the objective that they were after, which was to get customers, as many customers in as possible.
Definitely. The objective was for people to swipe their cards as much as possible and stand a chance to win.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Now, and also in the age of AI, artificial intelligence, how have you marshaled it to your advantage, or how are you taking advantage of it, if at all?
Yeah. We are living in the age of AI, and us as Design Surgery, we believe it's an opportunity. It's a very good platform, and we have to keep ourselves at par with that, so that we can it can help us also to solve clients' problems. And we believe sometimes people, when they think AI, they think ready-made stuff, but it needs a lot of talent, it needs a lot of thinking, it needs a lot of, you know, it's just a platform like any other platform. So it means we have to change with times and follow that path, but also use it to our advantage as an agency.
Do you simply use it to create campaigns, or you instruct it to create campaigns for you? How does it work?
You don't instruct it. You firstly have to have a big idea, because like I was saying, we are not a design company. We are an advertising agency. As an advertising agency, it means there's a lot of departments which are involved in solving a problem. It's not a one-man show. It's a situation whereby when you say a brainstorm, you have a media person there who deals with placement. You have a copywriter there who deals with crafting the information. You have a creative director there who directs all our creative. We have a PR specialist. You have an event specialist. You have an account manager. You have all the people, production and everyone who are involved in creating that work. So in that sense, I believe all those different departments would use AI for different purposes. Yeah.
That's fascinating. That's very fascinating. Now I want you to grab that crystal ball, sir, and look into the future.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk first about Tebogo Sekgee. What is your plan for the next decade or two?
Yeah.
As a brand.
As a brand, we see ourselves expanding outside of Botswana. And we see ourselves being able to have, or let me say, we see ourselves being able to extend our wings outside of Botswana, creating branches. Of course, right now as we speak, we already have like strategic partnerships in different areas. Of course, not at the level of companies, but if you want to be helped with anything in Zimbabwe, there's someone we work with there. If you want to be helped with something, someone in Nigeria is there to help us, Kenya, South Africa, and everyone. So that is the first step. But going forward, we are going to set up houses in those locations. Yeah.
Okay. And design surgery now is a brand again. So you are a brand within a brand.
Yes, sir.
What do you see as a physical structures coming up? Is a design school in the future? Is there an international presence? What's happening in the next 2 decades?
Thanks for that question. Actually, when we talk about a design school, that's something that we've been talking about. We've even talked about it with our other partners, because you remember earlier on I talked about talent. Talent is something that needs to be nurtured, and someone might be good for company X but not good for company Y. So we want to create a situation whereby we create our own people for design surgery. People, because why we talk about that is that we've already done a small research into that. The people that we trained from school, you find that we are able to indoctrinate with our own way of doing things.
Our own way of thinking.
Our own way of thinking and our own way of dissecting problems. So we think that thing works. So now we want to take it into a practice, like a school of some sort. Yeah.
That's very, very interesting. And in that connection, now that you've raised it, R&D is always a challenge, research and development. And when you look at institutions like UB, institutions like BUST, is there a way in which you collaborate with them, or is such collaboration possible in future? I see you, for instance, as a part-time lecturer, or assisting there, or taking some of their students in when it comes to issues of design and so on.
Definitely, we are very open to collaborations. In fact, we've collaborated in the past with a lot of companies and schools, and we've also trained some of their students. We are a very big believer in this country of ours. We call Botswana, and our brothers and sisters. And as design surgery, one thing that we believe in is that we have to empower our own people, as in Botswana.
Yeah.
Because one day, the very same person you've empowered is going to empower your brother, your sister somewhere. So we very much believe in that. We've collaborated with like different colleges. We've had student exchange with there's a college in Francistown. I think it's part of this OD college, but
okay.
it's
something.
It's Francistown College of Design. We collaborated with them where we took some of their students for attachment. We also taken some of the students from UB. We've also taken some of the students from Limconqueen. Some of them we've also absorbed them into our system. So
in other words, you employed them post qualification.
Post attachment.
Yes, post attachment.
Yeah. So it's something that we are very much open to, and we really believe in that. Giving people a chances in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 last questions before I get you to ask me a question. 1, what would you say is the secret of your success? What is the key ingredient? If somebody said, Tebogo has gone places, I want to replicate what he's doing, what would you say are those key components for your success?
I think more than anything, Gemod, right? And I believe in everything I do, and whether it's the people that I work with, as in my employees, whether it's my customers, whether it's anyone that I meet, I always have to remember what I'm a human being, and those are human beings. I think that's one element that I believe in. To hella more than anything. It's one thing that will take you very far in life.
Anything else?
And then I believe, as an agency, again, we also believe in excellence. Excellence in everything we do. Excellence, we believe, is when you think you've done something and you think it's perfect, you always have to think of taking it a notch up, beyond what you think is perfect. So that's what we always do. We come up with all these solutions, and when we think, or when the team thinks they have achieved what they wanted to achieve, we always want to take it a notch up. Just, switch it up a bit. So that's the difference. Yeah.
Wonderful. That's brilliant. The second question I want to ask you, Zaga. Is there Zaga? The youngsters always want to know. Mr. Mogobe, you interview people. Do they have money? And is there money in the industry? And if so, how does one get it? That question is always being asked in the street.
But money is subjective. Money is subjective because it depends on what's money for you. You can give me 100 pula and I'll appreciate it. And you give the next person 1 million and they won't appreciate it. So, which is why I'm saying money is subjective. And it also depends on whether you appreciate or you don't appreciate. But I would simply say I appreciate what I get out there. Whether you give me 100 pula, whether you give me 5 tebe, I appreciate.
I was asking in the context of whether this is a career worth pursuing. If somebody wants to achieve financial independence, is this the route to take to go into, into design or into graphics, into marketing?
Definitely. In big markets, which I believe ours is still growing. In big markets, people are making a killing out of this career. It's a big thing. Like I'm saying, everything that you see here speaks back to advertising agency, whether it's your logo that I see over there, whether it's the picture of you that I see over there, the photographer has passed through that, which is part of what we do. The logo, the graphic designer has touched that, printing, and all those things. So it's a big market that people are making their livelihoods out of. Of course, in Botswana, it's still growing. Remember, we are not as industrial as other countries. Like, if you look at South Africa, just next door, they have factories, they have manufacturing industries and stuff like that. And remember one thing.
But we also have one, but it's still at the infancy stage, I guess.
Yeah, we have a small market. Remember one thing, people don't buy products. people buy brands,
Mm-hmm.
and those brands are created in advertising agencies.
Explain
So-
that a bit more.
What I mean is, when you leave here going to buy, let's say, what can I say? Colgate, for instance. You live here with Colgate, but there are so many other toothpastes in the shelf, to a level whereby other people are even calling all the toothpastes Colgate, because
Yes.
the brand Colgate has built in their minds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so now they have created what you call brand loyalty. They have become so loyal to that brand that everything that is,
And it takes a marketing and advertising company for that to happen.
it takes a marketing and advertising agency for that to happen. It doesn't just happen on its own. Like I'm saying, even right now, Hanka like different rice and put them in a plastic and put them there in front of you, and put testing next to them. You are going to take testing. I get, simply because that's the brand, you know. That is the brand.
Yes.
Those other ones are not brands, they are products.
Mm-hmm.
But you are picking the brand
Mm-hmm.
because there's a certain perception that you have about that particular
Yeah.
name. I get.
I noticed that sometimes it takes years for a brand to get into the public psyche, but other brands get there relatively faster.
Definitely. I would say a brand is a living thing. It's a living thing in the sense that, like any other living things, there are those that grows fast and those that grow slow.
Mm-hmm.
So, but ultimately, what comes out of that, and again, it also about the brand strategy. Like I always say, even to my clients, branding lives at the heart of the corporate strategy. You cannot detach the two. The vision of the vision of Mr. Mogobe's podcasts, they cannot be detached from branding, or branding cannot live on its own without that vision.
Mm-hmm.
So those two are very interlinked.
Intertwined.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
that's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
So what question do you have for me, sir?
My question would be, what's your understanding of branding? And what are your favorite brands?
Yeah, I've come to understand brand identity and brand loyalty in this way, that some brands are so strong that even when you later find out information that this brand is not good for you, like certain colas, for instance, I won't mention which one, or certain sodas, even where you know at a intrinsic conceptual level that health-wise this brand is not good for you, I won't mention names,
Yeah.
you still find yourself buying that brand, you still find yourself consuming it, you still find yourself finding reasons for going for that brand. So I appreciate the power of that brand in that sense. The first thing we do in our company is, when we form a new entity, we want some kind of logo, because the logo helps you connect to that brand, and therefore to that service and those outcomes that this new product or service it is that you want to offer. So I appreciate the power of brands in that sense. Where I'm lacking, and where I think you have educated me this afternoon, is appreciating the pivotal significance and importance of branding companies and marketing companies. Because often what we have done as companies is to just do it internally and figure things out as we go along. So I'm beginning to appreciate, as you've spoken, as you explained, and based on my readings from elsewhere, because now I'm uploading or downloading other information, I'm seeing that, okay, so there's a connection. It's not just good enough for us as companies to develop our own brands and to go with how we interact with the market. You need somebody with an independent eye and with a particular skill set and training to help you navigate.
Definitely.
And to help you navigate the market and to also help you optimize value just through brand positioning.
Definitely.
So it is something that you've enlightened me about, for which I thank you immensely. And I hope my viewers feel the same as well. Okay.
Definitely. Yeah. No. I appreciate that, and I'm happy. I've also taught you something.
a lot.
But like I'm saying, there's science behind this whole thing. There's science behind this whole thing. Like I was saying, some people think a logo is a brand, but a logo is not a brand. It's an element of a brand. A signage is not a brand. It's an element of a brand. All those things, logos, signages, advertising, and everything, all combined, they create the perception of a company. And ultimately, that perception
is the brand. And it's so powerful that sometimes the perception is much stronger and much bigger than the reality.
Definitely. It is. In some instances, it happens like that. But I would say, in that case, the branding company would have done its job.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Of course, there also has to be reality in the whole thing. You have, like I was saying, it's important for marketers to interact with clients, to interact with stakeholders, to interact with customers, so that they don't create solutions for themselves. Because ultimately, you are doing solutions that are going to be consumed by the next person. So it's very, very important for marketers and
to walk in the shoes of the clients.
Definitely. It's very, very important.
All right. This is your camera, sir. As we conclude, take a look at that camera and leave the viewers with one final word of inspiration.
Okay, to the viewers, I will say, guys, whether you are a graphic designer, you are a PR person, you are an engineer, you are whatever that you are, make sure you solve today's problems. Use your skills to improve your people's lives. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Now, what you do now is share your contacts,
Yes,
social
sir.
media, physical address, all the details you can provide.
Okay, we are Design Surgery. You can contact us at 395-9608, or you can contact us at info@designsurgerybw.bw. You can contact us at info@designsurgerybw.com or tebogo@designsurgerybw.com, or you can visit Design Surgery social media pages. You'll find everything, and comment, and like we say, we respond to our people who visit our social media pages. So do comment there, and like we are saying, we are open for business. For all of you who are looking for branding solutions, we are here. Branding meaning advertising, whether it's merchandise, whether it's signage, whether it's radio, campaigns, and everything. You can do your strategies. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You've been a great guest, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much indeed.